How much flavor can you get into a pot of rice? It's endless. Is it easy to do? It's the easiest thing you'll ever do. Is it cheap? It's dirt cheap. Will the whole family love it? Probably. If it's your night to cook and you don't like cooking, can you do it? The answer is yes. Follow me and I'll show you the way. This is gonna start with a little spice blend. Spice blend for the chicken and spice blend for the rice. And mine's pretty simple, and I've always got this lying around. Onion powder, where there's onion powder, there's garlic powder. They just love each other and they're super tasty. And then things are gonna get really interesting. Oregano, that pungent, herby, grassy note, super delicious in a jambalaya style dish. Old Bay, it's a seafood seasoning, but it's got celery seeds in it and a lot of attitude. I like a little spice in my life, so I'm gonna go in with the chili flakes and paprika. Paprika is nice and warm, a little bit naughty, and gives it great color. That makes a great spice blend. A little touch of salt, and you're good to go. Yeah, look at this. Look at the colors of those spices. I always have spices in my house. You just mix them together, and creating a simple dish with a lot of flavor, a lot of body, a lot of attitude, and a lot of character starts with a good spice blend. You could use a Creole spice blend, or making your own is dead easy. This is going on to chicken. Chicken's super mild, but I'm gonna give it a little love with this spice mix. Just to finish this quick little marinade, shot of oil. That's pretty quick. That's pretty delicious. That's gonna give this chicken some really good flavor. When you're making food, especially a rice bowl that's in one pot, you need to rely on things like spices to give you tons of flavor. You're also gonna need to rely on vegetables. Aromatic vegetables are super cheap and lend all of their complexity to cooking, whether it's a rice dish, a soup, a stew, or a sauce. They're delicious. So I have celery, green pepper, red pepper, jalapeno, onion, and garlic. Chop all this up, and this, my friend, is a gift. It's a gift that keeps on giving. It looks colorful, they're really humble, but they add so much flavor, especially when you're cooking in one pot. Let's do this. This jambalaya rice style bowl pot, one dish wonder, it's all of those things. Chorizo. This stuff is delicious. It's a pork sausage that has wine and spices in it. And this, my friends, will give you so much flavor, just like the veg. What I like to do is slice it thin into nice, thin coins. And if you look inside that sausage, there's fat and spices, and that's going to give you a ton of flavor. It's cheap for a link of chorizo, and I like to cut it up nice and thin. The story of this jambalaya is gonna start with the chorizo because there's so much flavor in there, free flavor. I wanna pull it out. I wanna pull out all those spices and all that fat, so get the chorizo into a hot pan with a lot of oil. This is how you start big, big flavor. Life's a little complicated. Cooking doesn't have to be. When this chorizo starts to sizzle and it starts to get a little bit of those brown bits and you can see the color of the oil changing, this is where clever cooking comes into play. Just take your time with it and let that crust develop on the outside of that sausage. Yes, look at this. This is exactly what I'm talking about. When you can see color on the sausage, that means flavor. This is so good, those little crispy bits. Cooking's all about taking things right to the limit, right to the edge. Now, because the oil is flavored with all the delicious pork fat and spices, in with the veg. This should be a slow process. Get the veg in there, roll it around gently in all that fat, let the veg soften, and add their flavor to that already badass pot of sausage. No matter what's going on in my life, standing over a pot, just stirring veg and listening to that sizzling sound can cure almost anything. And it's so colorful. The smell of the sweet peppers and the spicy sausage, ooh, take you back. This is nice. Veg is starting to sweat down a little bit. This is what I like to do. Push it all the way to one side, and I'm gonna leave a little open space to sear off the chicken. And where that open space is, a little touch of oil, and then in with the chicken. The amount of action this pan's getting is gonna make anybody jealous. And the smell in here is so wild. From the veg and the crispy chorizo to this chicken. And then you can see the chicken cooking. It almost transforms. So when you can lift a piece up and you see a little bit of color and that spice starting to toast, this is when you can fold the chicken up a little bit. Look at that color. That's so great. And then fold the chicken into the veg. That would be delicious on its own, but it's going with rice. You can use so many different types of rice. I'm using jasmine, and before I put the liquid in, I like to give the rice a little big old kiss of all that flavor, about a cup per person. You can scale this up, but sprinkle the rice over top of it, and then fold the rice through that pork fat. That's how you give that rice a little welcoming to the party. I'm gonna use two types of liquid. Chicken stock because it's good and flavorful, and then I'm gonna put in a little tomato puree just because I think that flavor is gonna go really well. So a nice shot of chicken stock. You could use water, veg stock, or beef stock. I'm using chicken. And a touch of tomato sauce. Then to give it one more big hug, a little shot of that spice blend just to season the veg, and then quickly just mix this all together. The smell in here is so, so good. Pack it down, pack it down, pack it down. Last thing to do is slap a lid on it, turn the heat down to medium, and while you're waiting, subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification button. Now we've got lots of fun recipes coming your way. Let this cook at about the 10, maybe 12 mark. Look at it, see how much liquid's left. When it's almost evaporated, off with the heat, and let it stand for 10 minutes. That's the hardest part. It's just waiting. After you let it rest for 10 minutes, look at this rice. She's a beaut. I like cutting the peppers long like this, gives the rice a little bit of texture when you're eating it. That's a perfect cut for a one-pan dish. And look at this, you just pull it away and it's nice and sticky and fudgy. Look at that rice, just scented with all those beautiful flavors and the spice mix, the jalapeños, and look, on the bottom of the rice, if you're lucky, you can get these little caramelized bits like that when it sticks to the pan. Those little crunchy bits are so, so good. It smells so good, super colorful, done in one pan. Just to finish, a little cilantro for freshness. And that's it. I mean, come on. All of that in one pan. The rice cooked in with the stock of the tomatoes, the spicy chorizo, all of that veg, the jalapeno, the celery, the spice mix. There is so much complexity going on in there. All you need to do is get a stack of plates, throw a spoon in it, done.